This is the URT. Welcome to the URT. Big up the URT. How are we doing, people? Big up. Welcome to United Real Therapy. Listen, I wasn't going to do a match reaction straight after that. Instead, I went and had a little dance. I wasn't going to let Manchester United ruin my bank holiday weekend. Are you mad? We all expected to lose or at least get a draw. We thought they can at least get a draw. But we all expected to lose, people. So I don't know what you think was going to happen. But what a disgraceful referee and the officials, disgraceful. The Ligt injury, what a disgrace by the officials. Some of these people do not know the rules of football. It was a serious head injury. The ball should have been kicked out. They're an absolute disgrace. But people, welcome. Those of you going to watch this later, you know where we are. Ben, how you doing?
Yes, good evening, Northern. Good evening to the Therapy Army. Hit those likes, people, and make sure you subscribe. Yeah, I'm good, bro. Obviously, not a good day for Man United, but this is it. This is where we're at, and it's just the reality, for this fan base. And I think the whole fan base just needs to come together and just face the reality that we're just not in a good spot at the moment.
What part after that game? Is there anything you can take out of that game? Is there any positives? What? Give me the positive. Let's go with the positives first.
Positives.
Have they ruined your weekend? And Manchester United result ruined your weekend? Then, or did you enjoy your weekend?
I mean, we got 7 goals in the game, so I mean, that's probably the only positives that I could take of. And we scored first. That's another thing. I suppose I could take positive. I thought actually we started the game quite well. I thought we controlled the game, we controlled the tempo. Brilliant first goal. Good run of play. Obviously from Garnacho, and then right moment at the right time for Mason Mount. He seems to like scoring at Brentford. I think that's his second goal he has now scored under Man United. So obviously big up to Mason Mount, but still, I still think he's just not good enough. I was really happy to see another game of Harry Amas and Fredrickson and Obi Martin as well. I think today's game summed up between the 3 players. Obviously, the Premier League, some of these teams are most of these teams are all very high in physicality, and Amram speaks about physicality in his squad. He wants his players to be, ruthless, very strong on the ball, like on and off the ball too. And I think we've seen that today with the youth, with the youth players, even though they're only kids. At the end of the day, let's just not get too far ahead of ourselves. They're only kids. They've got a lot of potential ahead of them in the future. But I think Fredrickson, Amas, and Obi Martin, they do need a loan. I don't think they're ready at the moment. Amas is one of the Brentford school. I think Amas was poor when he got out shoved by I think it was Mbeumo, and obviously Mbeumo put in a really, really good cross into the box. And unfortunate for Fredrickson, obviously he wasn't able to get high enough, but you could tell with I don't know who it was that scored. It was Schade or something like that. I can't even pronounce his name, but obviously he obviously was stronger in the air than Fredrickson. And I know obviously Fredrickson's only a kid, but if you're a defender, the one thing you need to be, as a developed player, you wanna focus a lot on your physicality if you're wanting to go into the Premier League and professional football. So I think all 3 players just need to go on a loan, preferably in the Championship, and just work on their physicality.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Listen, the first goal that we conceded, the equalizer, it was actually one of those where he, to me, was the third goal or the second goal that we conceded. That was the problem for me. But the first goal, he jumps up for the ball, he wins it, but he gets confused where the ball is. He thought the ball was out, and then he turns around and the ball is there. So that was a bit unlucky. I didn't think that was bad defending. For the second goal, I think, or the third goal, he gives the ball away, and then Mbeumo crosses the ball. Now that's where you're talking about the physicality, the timing to go and put a challenge in, to try to cross. Those are the things. And yeah, I agree. Like some of these guys, the championship, you get found out, man.
Yep,
Basically
100%.
every 3 days. You know what I mean? You get found out every 3 days. So yeah,
100%.
it's one of those. It's definitely one of those in terms of what this football club is. This. Can we do we have a developmental plan for these youngsters? I really like Hamas. I
So do
think,
I, bro. So do I.
you know, I really like Fredrickson, but they're going to make mistakes. Young players make
Yep,
mistakes,
100%.
especially young defenders make mistakes, because defenders is really about experience and having that lived experience of games where you improved on certain things and you're judging the distances, and you're blocking shots, you're stopping crosses, you're fighting. But come on, it's Brentford and they played football in the clouds. You know what I mean? Famous quote by I think it might have been Brian Clough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did he say something? And maybe I'm butchering it. If God wanted us to play football, he would have put football pitches in the clouds or something like that, he said. But yeah, they just went long, they went long and getting the ball in the box quickly and crossing the ball and very effective. So at the end of the day, this is what it is. But to me, what's more concerning is the fact that Mason Mount and Luke Shaw can only play like half a games.
Yeah.
When we needed them to give in 90 minutes, At the end of the day, the team's made up because of what's happening on Thursday. The team's made up of reserves and young players. But actually, that Manchester United scored 3 goals in the Premier League. That's something for me to take away from the game. That the fact that we scored 3 goals, where in the Premier League, really, we don't score goals.
Exactly.
So that's my biggest thing. Mason Mount got his goal, and I thought it was a brilliant piece of play. Kobe, Garnacho, the ball comes across, boom, taps it in, makes a finish. So it is what it is, but it is what it is, people.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something, Jamie. Do you think I'm going to let Manchester United ruin my weekend? Do you think I'm going to let Manchester United ruin my bank holiday weekend? I went to the Sounds from the Other City, which is a day festival in Salford. I went there and I danced my little batty off, mate. I danced my little socks off. By the way, what I meant to say about the Ligt before, it wasn't a head injury. I mean, leg injury, serious leg injury. And they should have stopped it. Knee injury, then they should have stopped it. But people don't know the rules. It is what it is. Officiating is disgrace, and they carry on. And they should have blew the whistle straight away when he saw that the player's injured and stopped the game, but they didn't. F them. It is what it is. Manchester United are never going to get any of those. And then they score from the header, don't they? To make it 2-1 and then 3-1 in Burmo. Hamas lets Burmo cross the ball and then it's 3-1. And then we're begging there. How quickly we went in. It's one of those. I think when Hamas made the mistake, Luke Shaw could have come out earlier, could have showed a bit more to try to stop that shot, block that shot. But it's his chest and they get the equaliser. But the fact that United scored 3 goals, that's my only big positive, because we've not scored. What's the last time we scored 3 in the Premier League? We don't score goals. So that's my big positive to take away. So yeah, I went to the Sounds from the Other City. And listen to some great music. I'm getting old though, Jamie. Trust me, my back is hurting. And my friends some of them, large part of my friends are still out. They're going to be out till 6 in the morning.
Jeez.
They're going to be out till 5 o'clock in the morning, partying, raving. But my back, 5 hours I was there, dancing on hard concrete.
There you go, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people. Music be the love. Music and football saved me, man. I'm not going to lie to you. If you know, you know. Yeah, but it is what it is, people. It is what it is. We have to accept it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I wasn't going to do a match reaction in the usual time, people, because I'm not letting Manchester United ruin my weekend on my bank holiday weekend. So I only need to go and dance. And I got it out of my system. Now I'm a bit more composed, a bit more considered, and I can give you a proper analysis. What was your favorite goal today?
100% was. I mean, I loved Garnacho's goal. Like Garnacho's goal was quality. Like it was a good finish. But I'm more that with the first goal was so good because I prefer goals that are like we've made it ourselves. Like it's a run. It was a run of play. We don't really score many goals with run of play. I mean, I would probably go with the first one, but like I did love Garnacho's goal. I thought Garnacho's goal was quality, brilliant. I didn't expect that was to go in, like but yeah, definitely Garnacho for me. Anyways, shout out to him. I thought he played well today, even though um he's been playing all right recently, not like to the standards that anyone wants, like, but I thought he was the best player on the pitch along with Ugarte. I thought Ugarte actually played well today too. Obviously he had to come off early too. I think he was replaced by Ericsson. And yeah, this is just the reality. I think he didn't want to risk it with Bruno Fernandes or Hoyland. I still didn't want when Ahmad came on. I was like, I was praying that Ahmad wasn't going to get injured today, because this is the thing. Like I did say, I wouldn't start Ahmad or like Ligt in the preview. I just said we just got to protect these players at all costs. We're just this bad in our depth for the depth of our squad. And yeah. So, and it didn't really help that Bayender started over Onana, even though both players are just not good enough for the club. But I think today's game even just showed more that the goalkeeper situation is a top priority this summer. Has to be a talking point. Has to be, because even when we were playing out from the back, like we were actually controlling the ball out from the back. We were actually playing through them, but some of Bayender's passing was just dreadful, and it put Fredrickson off, even put Luke Shaw off, and sometimes Lenny Euro too, and it was getting really really frustrating. So we had to go long at times. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Garnacho goal was a beautiful. He's been trying that for how many games, and he's been going over the bar every time. So I'm glad one of them winning.
Yeah, I know.
Ahmad, I think the goalkeeper might expected him to bend it into the corner, but he put it right low and hard
Right
down the middle
lower.
and megged him.
Beautiful.
But yeah, 100% for me. This is a really good question. This is a really, really big up Monty, by the way. Big up Monty. He says that the 3-4-2-1 formation that needs a lot of money outlaid to get players we need to fit in. Does Amarin deserve the backing in the summer? Go ahead, Ben.
I mean, it's a good question, but we have players that can only play. I mean, people say 4-2-3-1, like that's the formation we've always played in the last 12 years. Sorry, I'll actually miscalculated there. I was obviously Mourinho played the three at the back system, but I just think we just need to get away from just playing the same system like that suits the squad at the moment. I think we just need to try a new
Van
system.
Gaal played 3. Was it Van Gaal, not Jose? Jose played 4. Van Gaal played 5.
Van Gaal. Yeah. But I just think it's not really what we want as fans, but it's what Ineos want. At the end of the day, they're the boss, and obviously, yeah, Monty's spot on with the formation. Like it does need a lot of players that fit it, but Amorim's came in at the wrong time, and obviously we're left with players that can only play one system, and that's counter attacking. Style of play, counter attacking football. You know, we just don't have the players or the squad that can suit a three at the back. Like you could probably argue three of them that about 5 players that have solidly played three at the back system before. Like like Ligt at Bayern Munich, even at times Amad Diallo when he was at Sunderland. They played the three at the back system when he was there. And there's a few other players like even Mazraoui, when he was at Bayern Munich. But I just think with the does Amber need the back end of the summer? Yeah, obviously it's not good. We've lost 17, 18 games. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I didn't want Amorim. But if we're going to sack Amorim, okay, if we're going to sack Amorim, then do you have any else field as a like do they just should we give them another chance? Because for me they don't. They failed instantly. And people say they brought infrastructure in, they brought Dan Ashworth, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, but no, like at the end of the day, they sacked Dan Ashworth because of chemistry. They haven't got rid of Gary O'Driscoll. They're about to sign this Formula One analyst, that doesn't know anything about football. So like, where does the line draw? We're just sat here as fans, just like, oh, here, let's just sack the manager. Let's just get rid of all these players. Like, but the reality is, we're not seeing the bigger picture as a fan base. If you're an owner and you come into a brand new football club, the first appointment is so vital because it exposes you whether you're capable for the job or you're not capable for the job. And right now, if they they paid this guy what 10, 15 million out of Sporting Lisbon just to come to Man United, this shit football club that we've been ran in the last 12 years. And right now, it's not working out for them because Ruben's, on course to being one of the worst Man United managers right now, like statistics wise, we've had. And, this is all down to them. But fan base just doesn't see it that way. They just think, okay, Ruben's just not the right coach. Let's trust Ineos again because they've brought a new infrastructure in. They've brought, they're getting another new stadium. Like, it's just not good enough, man. It's just not good enough, and this is the issue we're having.
100%. Big up. This summer is going to be exactly like the last one. Buy one player for the manager and watch him fail again. The club deluded, keep doing the same mistakes again and again. Listen, what do I think about this original question? I think it's a really, really interesting point. For me, I don't blame Amorim. I think Amorim didn't bring himself here. Ineos brought him here. So the blame all lies with Ineos. Did I want Amorim? No. Do I think he's a decent coach? Yes. Do I think that he's going to try to make the system work without having specific players who can fit into that system? No. I don't see it working. The most important thing is to win backs. You need wingers to play the wing backs. And you need two mobile midfield players. And then you need really good mobile number 10s. And a striker that runs the channels. Man United do not have that. You don't have that. So at the end of the day, it's up to Ineos. But like I said to you, this channel has been Ineos out since we did the research on them and found out who they were.
Facts.
Yeah. So it is what it is, people. Please smash a like. Welcome to the channel. This is the URT. Come and get your therapy. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's back to life, back to reality after the brilliant result on Thursday. And who played today? Obi, Amas, Fredrickson. Who else played? They're the three youngsters.
They're the three youngsters, yeah.
Everybody else was an international footballer. And the fact that we conceded so many goals in just really bad way, I just like, what the hell? Yeah. So I'm not open anything. Nah, man, I don't believe it. The Campos news was true, not true, by the way. Was the ruse not true? Yeah. More people were getting excited about the Campos. All I knew, and my heart's broken every time I see Palestinian kids suffering. Football doesn't even matter for me and no more. Yeah, I understand 100%, and that's why I always keep this here where I am. We did it today at the festival. We were having the Palestinian flag. My friend, we make music to support Palestinians, man. Maybe I can show you some of the photos, just show you some of the stuff, so you can see at the festival.
Oh wow, class!
Yeah,
amazing.
So we keep the Palestinian flag flying high, even when we play music.
Good crowd there. Good, lots of
crowd. Yeah, we're really good crowd.
Big up, bro.
Really good crowd, people. Really good crowd, and we had fun. Really had fun. So yeah,
big up, bro.
Don't mess about. Don't mess about. Can't mess about. 3-4-2-1. It's not really. No, to be fair, it did because Conte won the league with a system like that. He played three. Yeah, but he played attacking wing backs. You have to have super attacking wing backs, and you need to get balls into the cross and overload teams, and you have to have good midfielders that can get about the football pitch. Abuse was the only thing to get Radcliffe out. He said it himself. The donut. Yeah, 100%. Jamie went, I hate this team as much as I start enjoy watching them getting exposed officially to faces like Garnacho, Mount, Well, yeah. Who is Campos? Campos is a director of football at Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh, them, yeah.
Evan Campos, yeah. He's the director of football, yeah.
Everyone was getting giddy.
MashaAllah, Nuruddin. Yeah, man, bro. I told you, I don't do it just for that. Every time it's Palestine free, every second of every day, 24/7 a day. And that's why I needed to go. We played a set and we played there's one song called End the Occupation Now, which is basically practically my friend recorded me on a video when we had a big demo in London and then made a track out of that. And now we got the remix, we got 3 different rappers on there. It's amazing. Amazing. You know what I mean? And the occupation now. I played it on here. I played the video on
I
here.
remember seeing it. I remember seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So big up to everybody. But yeah, is there anything that shocked you? Anything that surprised you? Brentford know how to get to goal. They know how to do it very quickly. Nothing surprised me. Nothing kind of like shocked me. So I know what they were doing. You know what I mean? I know who they are. So we just gotta like be honest about what we think, what we saw. So we just gotta be like, yeah, it is what it is. Manchester United are not that good at the moment. They're not that good. They're not that good.
I think today as well, that really surprised me, and I don't really much watch Brentford that much, even though I probably should because Thomas Frank's a really good coach. But I think today I was very, very surprised and shocked at how good of a player Mbeumo is, and I think Man United should be all over him in the summer, either him or that guy Cherky from Lyon at that right 10. I think Mbeumo's physicality, his ball retention, the technical side of things, he's next level. I think his weak foot as well. He used a lot of a lot of his weak foot today. I think he's a quality player. I think we should be all over that signing in the summer. I don't know what his contract situation's like, but I think Man United should be all over him. I think him, Cunha, and say Delap up front. I think that'll be a nice wee front 3 for Man United, but maybe he just doesn't want to come because we're just in a shit state at the moment, and I don't blame him. But yeah, and Wissa as well. Like I think Wissa's just quality, really really good player for Brentford. And I think one of the centre backs as well played really well today. I forgot his name. I think he's Spanish or Dutch. It's one or the other. I can't remember his name, but I thought he played really really well too. And they're just so well coached. Brentford, you can just see they're just so like even in yesterday's game as well with the Arsenal and Bournemouth game. Like this is just why I really wanted Areola to be our next coach, and well, I mean De Zerbi as well for me as well. But like see when you watch Bournemouth and even Brentford, Brighton, you can just see that it's just so well coached, like off the ball in particular. Like you just know they're just going through lots of drills in the training ground, and we just haven't got that at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any other positives that you could see? Yeah.
Positives just we scored 3 goals. Obviously I'm happy that, regardless if, with the situation, I'm still glad that Obi Martin got to play 90 minutes. Amas got to play a lot of minutes too. And Fredrickson, but the reality is just I think 3 players. Well, I'll probably keep Amos. Like I think Amos is the player I'd probably preferably keep because I think our left center, our left wing back, we're very very low in depth. With players there, obviously we've only got, we've got Malacia coming back, but I think he'll be leaving. We've only got Dorgu and Amas in that left wing back, and it is a big concern. With the right wing back, obviously we've got Ahmad nailed on, but we just like you said, Nerd, and like these wing backs are so crucial and vital, and I think we, like you said, like we just need wingers in that wing back role, and I think the squad as a whole just needs some serious investment. Like we need 10, 11 players like just to go in, like whether 10 or 11 of those players are going to be starters. We just need to like fill each position up like as we go along, like but now that's the only positives I can take. The rest is just I just didn't really care for win or loss. This is just where we're at as a club. But obviously all eyes are going to be on the Europa League. I could definitely say there was a comment there tonight. Sorry, there was a tweet there tonight that the players their mentalities all changed when they play in the Premier League. Because all their eyes in the Europa League. I could see that. I could see that a wee bit today, especially with today's performance. But we just need to get through this. I think you hit a really, really good point, Nerdin, last night. I think this Europa League is definitely going to paper over cracks with a lot of this fan base. I think we can't forget about where we are in the league, and at the end of the day, if any of us want to sack him if we don't get in the Europa League, and I'm preparing fully as a fan if we don't win the Europa League to fully commit this summer to back Ruben Amorim, give him the players that he wants. But he only gets 5 or 6 games next season for me, and I'll be the judge for him. But it's just what they want to do, what path they want to choose in EOS, and it's gonna be crazy times ahead of us as a fan base. But yeah, big up.
Yeah, big up Asif. How you doing, bro?
I'm alright. How are you doing? How you doing? You okay?
Are you having a good bank holiday? You having a good bank holiday weekend?
Yeah, enjoying the bank holiday weekend, man. It's been nice, but City Centre's been buzzing.
Who's you've got on your picture? Who's the picture on your thing?
It's just that chill guy, isn't it? He's a chill guy with Manchester United top on.
I thought it's your name. I thought it's AJ Bain. Big up.
No. Not him.
Did you hear AJ Bain's voice? Did you think it sounded like yours?
That's disgraceful comment that guy made. Disgusting.
Hey, Brentford, didn't he? People are saying take us only. Amorim deserves take us only. Amorim deserves to get sacked if we don't win the Europa League. We had a major lot, 2 red cards in 2 games that went in our favour. No excuses in the final. Talk to me. Listen, talk to me. Let me get this. Let me get this, coach. First of all, Asif, how are you? Enjoying the bank holiday. What did you think of the game today? Did you watch it? Did you watch the game? What did you think of the game today? The performance?
Well, we lost 4-3, so it's disgraceful that we're letting these teams hammer us like that. And I don't know why Garnacho's celebrating when he scored at 4-2. Get back and try and get a third. Like, where is their head at? Have you seen the position that we're in the league? What are they thinking? Are they even thinking of Manchester United? Or are they just thinking of their own profile and their own, is it an individual thing? Because if you're thinking about Manchester United, why are you celebrating like that at 4-2? Get the ball and get it back on and get going and try and get a third and fourth. And I don't know, man. It's weird, like how we're undefeated in Europe and then we're getting thrashed in the Premier League. I feel like since, obviously we've been struggling all season, but I feel like when they realised we weren't going to get top 4, they just switched off altogether. Feel like, the rest of the games don't really matter. But they're not doing a service to the fans, the club, like when they wear the shirt, the manager. It's a privilege and honour to play for Manchester United. So many players, it's like the pinnacle of their career to make it and play for Manchester United. And these lot are just messing around on the pitch and letting teams that are low smashes and make such a horrible record. Like, have some self-respect. Do you want to be part of a team with the worst record in Premier League history, and like you don't even care, and it's getting worse and worse, and you don't even care that you're going to be attached to that? Do you know what I mean? Like, they really should. I know it's all about Europe and saving, but come on, man. You're playing for Manchester United now. Have some sort of respect for yourself and your fans and your family, the manager, your legacy, your name. Like, try and put an effort in and make it competitive for teams. How easy were they scoring, and what the hell was our goalkeeper doing? Just any cross or anything that was going in, it was like no one was in goal. They were crazy. Like, we used to say, De Gea doesn't come out. I don't know what this guy was doing. And then, Garnacho's goal were good though. And then I'm happy that Diallo scored as well. He's one of the highlights of recent weeks, apart from getting winning the first leg semi-final. Him coming back match fit is a big bonus because he's been one of our best attackers earlier on in the season, and then he had that bad injury. But yeah, it's just two big games now, two huge games to save our season and give Amorim a boost in his career. And somehow it's like a great escape. How can a team that's been shockingly so bad end up in the Champions League next season and with a trophy to celebrate? We're going into the next season much stronger than most teams if that happens. And yeah, I'm happy about that. And what made me happy as well was Bournemouth beating Arsenal. That made me smile. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's weird, man. These people are forgetting that who they're playing for, and I don't know. I feel like our fans are soft. Our fans are soft on these players as well. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's a catch-22. It's a catch-22 of like, we supporters and you're meant to support the team, but then there's like a line, man, and there's a level and a standard, and if they're continuously dropping beyond it and they're taking piss, getting onto them doesn't mean that you're not a proper supporter. It means that you care about Manchester United and you want us back at the top. Why do fans think it's okay just to cheer everything and sing everything and it's okay and it's one big joke? It seems like, do you know what I mean? It's not, man. Look at how they're disgracing us. Do you know what I mean?
What do you think about this question here? And then I'll bring Luani in. Big up Luani.
Big up Derby.
Yeah, Monty said this 3-4-2-1 formation that needs a lot of money outlay to get the players we need to fit in. Does Amorim deserve the backing in the summer? Well, some people want to sack him, Asif. So what do you think? And then we'll go to Luani.
I've always been fair with managers, and I've always said it doesn't matter who it is. Obviously, I loved Solskjaer because he's a club legend and we grew up watching him. I didn't have that love for Ten Hag, and I disliked Ten Hag the way he treated Ronaldo because he could have handled him in such a better way. But I still give him a fair chance, because I feel like every top manager needs 3 seasons at least. The first season to assess what he's got. The second, then get some players in. Second season, more of his own team. Third season, you should be ready and you should be challenging for a title. I don't care about time and young managers, this and that. If you're at a big club and you're an elite manager, you should only need 3 seasons to be challenging. But obviously, it's not get help from the board and stuff. But for me, if they say sack him, if fans say sack him, I understand it. I'm not going to be outraged. But for me, I don't want to sack him without giving him 1 pre-season and 1 transfer window at least. Just them 2 things. Give him that. And then when he's had that, there needs to be big improvements next season. Then if there's no improvements by Christmas time, you need to start thinking what is going on. Is the system right? Is he the right man for the job? He might be a good manager, but is he right for Manchester United? How much are we going to change? How much are we going to invest? But for me, you cannot pull the trigger on him until he's had 1 pre-season and 1 transfer window. I think that is fair. I feel like managers need to be given some sort of time and respect. We can't be like just knee-jerk, even though it's so rubbish our season, because we've just done it. We've been doing it for 10 years. We got in the club legend. We got in the up-and-coming manager, who's Amorim. We got in the greats like Mourinho and Van Gaal. We got in the steady Eddie in Moyes. We've done it all and it's not worked. It looks like it's working and it falls apart. So and then who's next? Who are we going to get in next after him? So I feel like just give him a pre-season and a transfer window, and let's see what happens next season at least before we pull the trigger, especially if he wins a trophy, because I don't care what anyone says. Football is a sport, and sport is about winning. And we've won more than most teams in the Premier League, even through our worst phase. In our best phase, we were just blasting teams and winning everything. In our worst phase, if you look at the last 10 years, FA Cups, League Cups, Europa Leagues, not a lot of teams have done that. So even through our worst phase, we're still winning. So I feel like, yeah, he needs to be given a chance. But if, people saying he should be sacked, I'm not outraged at it. Like when they were saying it about other managers, I was like, come on, you're being harsh. But if they said it about him, I wouldn't. And I feel like he would have been gone if it was Woodward, Arnold, Merton and these in charge. He would have been gone, because they used to sack managers if you didn't get top 4. But I feel like this new regime's coming and they're trying to do things differently and trying to give people time, and they've already paid out Ten Hag and they don't want to cut Amorim's contract short and do another payout to him and look like fools, especially when the guy came from Newcastle and they've kicked him out as well. Do you know what I mean? So Ashworth. So I feel like They're giving him chance, but he's very lucky because he won't be getting this chance at any other big club. But I do feel like he deserves a chance because I like being fair with managers.
But Asif, I'll come back to you in a minute. But just think about this question. He didn't bring himself here. It was the Ineos and Glazers wrote off the season. They said to him, "Do what you need to do." They wrote off the season. But go ahead, Luwani. I know you're gonna have a totally different thing. How are you, brother? You're not in
Good.
the
How are you
dungeon.
guys doing?
You're not in.
Nope.
You're not on the
Yeah.
stairs. You're in a room tonight. You're in a
Are you
room.
Yes, sir.
enjoying the bank holiday
In a
weekend, mate?
room. Are you?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it bank holiday weekend? Enjoying the bank holiday? I hope you
I
are.
be not yet. Not yet. We're still in Sunday here. It's 8 p.m. I think so. I didn't know
Manchester.
you I didn't know you were going this late. I thought you'll be on stream tomorrow.
No. I'm going this
None
late,
of them's
bro.
been partying, man. That's why it's got late.
Listen,
He's been partying all bank holiday weekend.
I do not want to have Manchester United ruin my weekend, brother. They were never going to ruin my weekend.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
I
you.
said, no. You ain't going to ruin my weekend. No. You ain't going to ruin my weekend. No. I'm going out to shake what my mama gave me. Anyway, Luani, I hope you well. Please give me your match reaction and then also answer the question that we put in there. Should Amorim be backed in the summer? Go ahead.
Oh, match reaction. I don't know why. We United fan, we love the pain. We like to do this to ourselves, right? We always, when we know the standards have already been very low. So we come here every time we win a game, we do the bravado thing, we do the banter thing, and then we try to put it in everybody else's face. Every time we lose a game, we come here and we all miserable, and then we start complaining about how shit the players are. This manager need to go and blah blah. Can we just be in the middle? From the moment we start thinking that we stop thinking about performance-based analysis and start doing a result-based analysis, it's always going to be a yo-yo. We accepted that this is a new manager, this is a new season. Maybe by some standard, he doesn't have his own players. So we should know what we're looking for. Okay, no result-based analysis is gonna help us out of our misery. We need to just look at the performance. That's why now when I'm looking at the performance, I just want to see what from one game that we played can I take into the next game. And that's why I say that I'm not seeing anything that I can take from one game to another. I'm not seeing anything. The only thing that changes when he changed personnel, when we have better quality on the field, better quality tend to perform. But then the results are still inconsistent. So for me, I'm not sure he's gonna make it. Now, based on this game today, going into this game today, when I saw the lineup, right? Who think that when that lineup was posted, we are gonna win that game today against Brentford? Brentford was at least playing for something. They're playing for a place in Europe. We're not playing for anything. So with the B string team, or how do we call it, at least 5 changes in the team, who think we were gonna win anything? We are not going to win this game today, and we all predicted that yesterday. Yeah, it's good to go ahead by 1 goal, but I like focusing on the individual performance of the players that we have. Now, I saw certain things today that I kind of like, and I also saw certain things today that I was genuinely worried about. Well, my first thing is both goalkeepers that we have are shit. It doesn't matter if it's Bayende, it doesn't matter if it's Onana. They're all of the same for me. The second thing when we're talking about, there is this system is a 3-4-3. We know that it need ball carriers. Ari Amas is not a ball carrier. Kobe Mino is not a ball carrier. Now, the dynamic between Ari Amas, Kobe Mino, and Mason Mount, we can see what kind of football those can play, but they don't fit into Amorim system. When you are Amorim and you playing like a player like Kobe Mino in a double pivot, you are limiting his ability. He's best served to play higher up the field. So when you see our first goal today, when he took the ball on Brentford side of the pitch and find a lob pass to Garnacho. Garnacho crossed the ball, and that was Mason Mount scoring the goal. If you want to play him in a double pivot, it's not gonna work. The guy, he can hold the ball, he can make a turn on the ball, but he doesn't have the physicality or the athleticism to get away from the player and carry the ball into the final third. So you have to play higher up the pitch. The second thing is Garnacho. Garnacho is the only outlet that we have. I said last time, he's the only outlet that we have right now. So if you're going to play Garnacho, Mason Mount, and Kobe Mino, give Kobe Mino a little bit more of give him a few players that are closer to him. His game is a close game. He play give and goals, but you need to surround him with people that can play the same type of football. Okay, Garnacho is running away from the ball. He's in a 10, he's running away from the ball. The only person that's coming to the ball is Mason Mount. So that's one outlet. In the middle, two of them, it's not going to work. Why is it that our players are always far from each other? They're very far from each other. But when you look at the Brentford players, they're very close to each other, and they can play, and they can do both. They can play intricate pass 1-2 and to get themselves out of the situation, and they can go long, and they were going long all the time. I don't know what our players are expecting. You playing against a Thomas Frank team, and one of your teammates get injured, and you stop playing. You expecting the Thomas Frank team to put the ball out for a throwing. Come on, these guys, they don't do ceasefires. And that's why they do on the second goal. They cut us on the second goal, cut us sleeping and score. And they look at what they're doing. Pretty simple. They go the ball to the flanks, they cross to the back post, and they keep doing it repeatedly. And they were able to get 2 goals out of it. What do we have? What defines us as a team? What is our system? It's something. Amorim is having. It's almost like he's having a conflictual issue in terms of his choice of personnel, where he plays them. For me, the future of Kobe Mino in this team is grim. If he doesn't want to play him in a 10, he might as well sell him. When it comes to, and the same thing come to, I also want to talk about Chido. Chido started today. And to be honest with you, we didn't see any difference between him and Rasmus Highland. The reason for that is because we all know our strikers have a graveyard shift. And you could tell today that he was also struggling. Why are we not getting the ball to our strikers? So that means that it's not the personnel, it's still the system. Look at how many times Brentford is able to get the ball to the flank today and just cross it. Even their throw-ins are like crosses. That means it's something that they repeatedly work. They work on training, and they use it as a weapon in the game, and it serves them well. What do we have? What do we do consistently that is dangerous to the other team? That we can take from one game to the other. We don't have anything like that we do. So eventually, it come back to this question, your original question, Odin. If you buy him better players next year, it's still not going to make any difference for me. So that's my conclusion.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up. Madras Samurai. Big up. Appreciate you. He says, big up Nuruddin, big up the therapy panel. The chat. These United results are criminal. I want improvement, but I don't trust Amarin or Ineos to do it. Wow. Big up the super chat. There you go, Turbo. You good? Thanks for joining us. You well?
How are you lot? You okay?
Yeah, man. What did you think about the game?
To be
Did you
honest,
take any positives from today's game?
I knew we were going to lose. I predicted 2-1, but we lost 4-3. I just think I know people are not going to hear this and like this what I'm about to say, but I don't think this manager's it, man. Honestly, and I'm not even solely putting it down to him, because end of the day, the players do have to hold some accountability. But you surely 6 wins and 12 losses or 11 losses, whichever it is. It's a bad data, and to me, in general, I just don't have hope anymore, man. I'm just hopeless. Like the news today about Luis Campos, I got a little bit excited because that's the only, because last night we were talking about DOF. That don't look like it's happening.
Listen, that was just to wind you guys up.
Yeah,
They paid somebody to put that news out there. Come on now. That was just to wind you guys up, man. Seriously. Yeah.
It's a very disaster season, man. But you people, I've got a guy that said.
But listen, do you blame Amorim? Okay, Treble, do you blame Amorim? The Manchester United owners wrote off the season. That's what they've done. Only focuses on Europa League.
But they're going to write another season.
They did
because
it.
They're keeping him.
But they did it. It's not up to him. I didn't want Amorim. I wanted De Zerbi, Areola, or Hansi Flick. Those are the or even Inzaghi. And Inzaghi was unrealistic. I wanted those type of managers, but we didn't get them. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We find ourselves. But if you're blaming Amorim tonight, then I personally think that you're not paying attention at this football.
No.
They didn't buy him. They took 2 attacking players away from him, and they didn't replace those 2 attacking players.
No, but Nuruddin, he's been here, and he's got 6 wins, yeah, and 12 losses. Like, and I'm not even to a Ten Hag last season. And look, I want a Ten Hag sack, by the way, just to pull that public out there before anybody says I'm defending Ten Hag. I'm not, but he's coming here at this club, yeah, and he's been here nearly 6 months, yeah, and he's got 6 wins within them 6 months. He got 6 wins, and he's got 11 losses. Now he had no injured players. Ahmad got injured to an extent. Now Xerxes off because the season's already a write-off, but he had everybody barring Ahmad fit. Yeah, it's the teams that we're playing. The game that we lost against, the team that we lost against, drew against, we haven't even won against the smaller sides like the flat track bullies, and this is bad data. And I don't think even if we get our players for him or for the club, we're going to see a massive improvement in terms of even getting results, because the bare minimum is to get results. There's managers that come in the league and they're getting results. Someone like Pereira for Wolves is getting results.
Yeah, but they play a totally different system in the terms. Let me say, they're used to playing that 3-4, 3-4-3 kind of system, 3-4-3-1. They're very used to playing that system because since they've been in the Premier League, Wolves have played that type of football. At the end of the day, they took 2 attackers away from him, and they didn't replace them, and they brought in 2 kids. So I'm sorry. I know it hurts you. I know that football fans, majority of you are conditioned just to blame them coach, but I don't blame him. They're the ones who wrote off the season. Manchester United can't write off season. It's the owners who wrote off the season. It's Ineos mismanagement. It's Glazer mismanagement. And it's just a continuation of the last 13 years. So blaming a guy who only got here yesterday, it's like blaming the young kids today for the goals.
No, but is he not? Is he? Look, okay. So for the results and losses, is he not to blame for that? Is he not partly to blame?
No, but Trouble, I'm just telling you, they took away 2 attackers away from him and brought in 2 kids.
No, Dean, I don't.
One second. If you bring somebody in, right, and you know that your squad that you have does not fit in the way you hired him. You hired him, he signed the contract, and he said, I'm going to play my way. But when Dan Ashworth tells the club that, and everybody and their nan can see it, that these players are nowhere near can play this formation and system that he wants to play, how the F do you blame him, or do you blame the player? You blame the people who put the players and this coach together. That's who you blame.
You know what they've done? You know the best way to describe it?
Let me finish. Go on, Asif.
The best way to describe it is they've sent Ineos have sent Amarin into a boxing match with one hand behind his back and no gum shield.
Yeah.
They've taken his gum shield out, they put one hand behind his back and said, now you go fight in this boxing match and you win. What's going to happen? He's not been good enough. They've not backed him properly. How he should have been backed, on the strikers he had. Højlund has been an absolute nightmare. His record, what he's got as a striker, is atrocious. No striker in Premier League history for a top club has consistently been in a team where they've got that what he's got, how many games he's played and how many goals. And yes, he's young. He should have developed somewhere else and come before. People can say lack of service, but strikers sometimes create things from themselves. His runs and stuff he's been doing hasn't been on point. You have strikers that can create things out of nothing. He isn't that sort of striker. He needs everything on a plate. But even at time, it seems like his confidence shot because there was a time when he was scoring, and he was scoring quite a bit in Europe before that. But he's been terrible. And when you've got no options, and then it's a 50-50. Do I throw the youth in and damage their confidence in a team that's not performing, or do I take the risk and they'll lift the team? So it's been a bit of uncertainty around that as well, because obviously they're saying, well, if Hoyland isn't good, throw in the youth, but then are you going to damage the youth by throwing them into a messed up team who isn't performing, instead of bringing them in, where the team's a bit better and you bring them in slowly and let them develop? So obviously, people criticizing Amorim, I'm okay with it, because but just saying he's only to blame is wrong. Ineos is to blame as well because they've not backed him properly, and the players are to blame as well because they're on the pitch.
Facts.
Okay, when you guys say like they've not backed him properly, what exactly do you mean, right? He got brought in.
How can you send Rashford? How can you send
No.
Rashford
Let me finish, right? Let me finish. What do you mean? How can you send Rashford? When you guys put it that way, it's almost like Amorim is aggrieved. It's almost like he's being victimized. He was not playing Rashford. He was not playing. He fell out with Rashford.
It's not an option, though.
Okay, yeah. 1 second. He fell out with Rashford. He fell out with Anthony. So they have to clear. They have to clear that locker room for him, so he doesn't feel the place doesn't get toxic. So that's still on him. Okay, whether now, before people make those kind of decisions, they will talk to him. They will say, listen, do you feel like this situation, just the same way Sancho was shipped out just to clear out the locker room for Ten Hag? They will ask the manager, listen, do you feel comfortable? Can you keep these players all the way to the end of the season? Can you contend with them to the end of the season so we can get you a proper transfer window? And it's his choice. He had to say, no, I can't stand this. Whatever you guys want me to achieve, I can achieve it. I can achieve it with the group that is here. That is the conversation that's being had. And then they say, okay, we go. You think that the Glazers just wake up, just say, hey, Ineos just wake up and say, hey, we're going to get rid of Rashford, we're going to get rid of Anthony. It doesn't benefit the team. It doesn't benefit them. How much did they get back for those two? They went on loan. It's not a decision that is just made because the Ineos decide, oh, they're going to make it. No, they talk with the coach, and the coach told them, hey, I'm not comfortable with these two. They have to go. Okay, and as a coach, before you make that kind of decision, you have to evaluate. You have to look at your team, look at your squad, and say, you know what? Without those two, we're going to be okay. Now, I don't accept that situation where they take the players away from him. No, he's not a little kid. He signed a contract.
I want to ask you a question. When did he stop playing Rashford? Was it before the transfer window opened? So if he was not playing him before the transfer window opened, the club knew that he needed a replacement. So why is the club not working on getting a replacement? It wasn't a shock. It didn't come all of a sudden on the last day of the transfer window. They had enough time to get someone in. They knew he wasn't going to play Rashford, so they should have been planning with this new supposedly specialist team they've got in the board now. They should have been planning to get someone decent in, even if it was on loan, to help us to the end of the season.
Facts.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying, that the conversation was had. We don't know what was available on the transfer window to bring in. Maybe it's something he was not comfortable with. If there was, Sir Alex Ferguson used to come out all the time and say there's no value on the market. He thinks that people he has on hand can do the job. Maybe he saw the expectation they put in front of him. They told him,
he was covering for the Glazers. He was covering for the Glazers.
Because I don't understand why we come out with this kind of narrative. Because the coach always go to the media and he will say he's comfortable with what he has. He says that.
No, that's
he
not
said,
true.
But
you know what? But no. Luani, listen. Are you gonna let the coach insult our intelligence? What we see, or what we see with our own eyes? We're United fans. What we see on the football pitch. Come on, man, behave. Big up to Ivan Iverson. All you fans that are hammering out want us to play survival football. Oli did it. Ten Hag did it. We want to create an identity, not short-term
Wait a
fix.
second. Hold on.
No short-term fix. Treble, answer that. Answer that. And sorry, we go to Ben, and then we'll come back to Treble.
Ollie,
No. We go to Ben first. Ben, answer that question.
I
and
just
Treble.
Yeah. Just before we come to this question there, I want to ask Luani and Treble. Big up Treble anyway. It's good to meet you, bro.
Big up.
Now I've got a question for both of you. So if worst comes to worst, and look, I didn't want Amorim from the beginning. I wanted Areola, De Zerbi, and Luis Enrique before he came to Paris Saint-Germain. If Ineos choose the path to actually look, Amorim's not taking us anywhere. We're out of the Europa League, say. I'm just saying, like, if worst comes to worst, if Ineos do choose to sack him, do you have faith and do you have the trust? Would you give another chance to Ineos? Look, you've only just came in, you've failed the first appointment. Would you have the whole faith and trust to actually get it right in the second appointment? If you don't, then what's the point? What's the point? Like what? Like, you know, we can only control what we have because we're only fans at the end of the day. But, you know, seriously, you know, this is the first manager out of all these managers we've had in the past post Fergie, right? Moyes had a first decent start of the season. Van Gaal had a decent start of the first season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had an amazing start of the first season when he was interim. Ten Hag obviously finished fourth. Who else? What other managers have we had?
And I finished third.
Jose. Yeah. So this is the first proper coach, but I'd probably say since Van Gaal, that he's came in and he's absolutely just stunk the whole gaff out. So this is the first time we've actually had this as a reality in his first season, because every manager that's came in, we're all like, oh, he might be the guy because he's just got us Champions League football, he's just got us Europa League football, we're scoring goals here and there. But this is the first time we've had this coach.
Acceptable to have 6 wins and 12 losses.
No, no, but it's not at the end of the day. But I want you and Luani to answer. I want you to answer the question firstly, right? Answer the first question.
Cool.
Do you have the faith and Ineos, and would you give them another chance to get the next appointment right?
Ineos?
Yes.
Absolutely not. They haven't got a fucking clue. Sorry, my language.
No.
Sorry,
big up. And what about you, Luani?
I don't have enough data to say that conclusively. The reason I'm saying that is because Erik Ten Hag paper over the crack with a trophy. Some of us say, hey, you know what? He won a trophy. He earned a second season. A few weeks into the second season, he has to go, right? Because the results were not good suddenly. Now that's Ineos' first firing, right? And that's their first hiring. I would say that's their first proper hiring after hiring Amorim. And after hiring Amorim, they have to restructure because they have to fire Dan Ashworth. I'm not defending them, but I'm saying that after that, the next transfer window they had ahead of them was the January transfer window. Am I correct? Who does good business in January? No one does good business in January. Before you can bring in a player, the player have to fit certain criteria with which the manager and the technical director agree with. If there's no value on the market in January, why should we just go bring the players for the sake of bringing the player? So let's wait till
Man City, yeah.
Man City got Mamouche.
Yeah, because they are Man City.
Aston Villa get Rashford and then Asensio?
Guys, Aston Villa got Rashford and Asensio because they were fighting for something. Okay, they were in the winning. They're playing for something. Maybe their owners also operate differently than our owners operate. That's one. Maybe their owners actually have a different philosophy. They know how to spend their money on the market. Their team have a certain value. You have a certain attractiveness to it. Maybe they are coach. We don't know the coach. What's his name? Aston Villa coach Unai Emery. We don't know exactly the way he look at his transfer and the deal, the kind of conversation we have his technical directors. One thing we know is Amorim is the new coach that just came in. We are in a full rebuild. We are not where Aston Villa is. We are not where Manchester City is. Manchester City has built a winning legacy. They can literally pick up the phone, call any player they want, and the player can force a move. We are not in that position. Okay, so if we want a proper transfer window, if you want to see what this ball is about, let's wait till January. This coach have a preseason. Okay, I have reason why I don't think we can make it with this coach. But with this board, with Ineos, let's wait and see doing this transfer when the season ends, if they're going to have a better deal, what kind of player they're going to bring it in. We have always complained that, we don't want us to go buy expensive players and bring them here for the wrong reason. And we have a January transfer window. We don't see enough incoming and we're complaining. Why? Give them a proper transfer window in June, and then let's see what happened there.
Listen,
go ahead, Trevor.
I think Ineos are a problem that in the society of football, yeah, when it comes to even running our football club, yeah, that we support and we love. But at the same time, I cannot give this manager a free pass. When I say I can't give him a free pass, is the things he's done, it's unacceptable, and he's partly to blame. Yeah, you could say, cool, the players are to blame, but you can't tell me Manchester United Football Club are a 15-table team. And the people that say that are the guys that back this manager. Now, we are not where we're supposed to be this season, it's down to him, bro. Because if you look at this, other managers, come away and we win football matches. He's not been winning football matches. And I'm saying that if he had injuries like Ten Hag did, and he come up with everybody that's not even fit, I could look at the situation. Ten Hag had injuries last season and he finished 8th, won the FA Cup, cool. He deserved to be sacked. And I said he should not have another season. I said if they give him another season, I've written it off. I said, Nora, do you remember when me and you we spoke on Space, and I said if Ten Hag gets another season, it's a written off season. I don't know if you heard that, but I clearly stated that, and it turned out to be right. Now, Jim is going to give this guy another season. I have not seen him being here 6 months that he's the coach that actually is the man to take the job. He talks a good game in a press conference, but when it comes to reality, he just comes back and slaps him in his face. Our win percent has worse win percent than Gary Neville did at Valencia, and he has a worse winning rate, worse loss rate than what's that guy that used to coach us? What's his name? Ralph Ragnick. Now it's just embarrassing. And when you watch, do you know what it is? Teams, when they play us, they don't even have to be in their first gear. That's how bad it is. Newcastle didn't have to be in our first gear to beat us. Brentford didn't have to be in our first gear to beat us, even though it was a meaningless game. It's like I already know what I expect next season, and this is why I said I have no high hopes. Where I think we're gonna finish next season, I have no idea, bro. I generally at this stage I have no idea. But what I expect from this guy, nothing, because I've already seen red flags.
Okay,
even
I think
if
we
he
have
gets
to.
his players.
I think fundamentally we have to agree to disagree. They sacked the director of football who turned to them in the summer when they tried to sign Amorim. He said the football he wants to play is not compatible with the squad that we have.
Have we been any better since
let me finish. How much of a blow is the Ligt out for the rest of the season? How much of a blow is that?
A big blow. Can I just answer this? I spoke about this last night. Did I not say do not risk the Ligt? I said do not risk him. They play Lindelof. Do not risk him. And what does this guy do? He does the opposite. Another reason why I can't trust this manager. What he says in the press conference, compulsive liar. I can't trust the word he says. And for me, I think the Ligt, if he's lucky enough to make it, second game, a game against Bilbao, my bad. If he's lucky enough to make it, cool. But I think if he's off like that, and the way I looked at it, could be a serious injury in it. That's just my thoughts, man.
I go to you, Asif. How big of a blow is losing the Ligt?
He is an experienced defender that's played in big games in Champions Leagues and stuff, and he's an international. So having him in the end of the season in big knockout competition is obviously a bonus. But him missing will be a blow. But I think we've got enough defenders to cover, and it's it's a mixture, not just of the personnel. It's a mixture of these players understanding the system and not making it so easy for teams to play against us. Because even though we're undefeated in Europe, when you saw the first 10 minutes in the first leg, they could have been Athletic Club could have been winning 2-3-0. That's how many clear chances they had, and they missed really easy chances. So we got lucky with that and then survived it. But it's a problem. Teams are finding it too easy to create against us and score against us. But yeah, it's a miss, obviously. But I'm happy that Ahmad's come back because Ahmad is a sort of player that can do something out of nothing. And we need them players up front. When your team's struggling, you need players to lift you. And he's the sort of player that can go past someone, he can create something, he can shift it onto his left or right and put it in the back of the net. So I'm happy that he's back. It gives me a bit of hope for the semi-final and the final. But what's happening with Heaven?
He's coming back.
he's
He's
end of
not
May.
far off.
End of May.
Big up Jarvis.
Yeah, big up.
I think
I just want to ask Treble. I know you're writing him off, and I'm not going to go crazy because obviously where we are, you've got a right to with Manchester United. Anything out of top 4 is a disgrace spot as a Manchester United. I always say that. But you look at the circumstances. Do you feel like there's any sparks? Like, was there anything throughout the season, like the game against City, the away performance against Liverpool, beating Arsenal with 10 men, undefeated in Europe? Do you think there's anything that gives you a bit of glimmer of hope that maybe he can do something if he gets a bit more time, or do you think no?
Look, I will answer that. When I watched the game against Liverpool, I watched it back like last week, 2 weeks ago. I thought that was the point, innit? I thought that was where we're gonna see improvement. But we've just fell down the cliff, man. We haven't looked like the same. And you know what? I feel to say this, like I want him to turn around. I hope. Listen, you see me, it's not even about wrong. I hope he really turns it around, and
you want to be proven wrong, basically.
I have not listened to me. I want nothing more to prove wrong, but I'm seeing things that I don't like seeing, bro. And to me, he's gonna get, whether I like it, whether my fucking backside doesn't like it, this and that, bro. To me, he's gonna be here. So it's either he needs to do something for me to actually buy into, which means show me result business and show me some sort of style of football, which I'm not seeing. Yeah, show me that, you know what I'm saying? But mainly he needs to show me results. Next season, like the main thing more than football he has to see, because we haven't been doing in the league, is get some results. He needs to start winning football matches, and he knows that himself, or else he'll be out the door. But if I will see that, time will tell. I'm not going to predict the future. I just feel, in my opinion, he's not the man that can take us forward. That's just an opinion, guys, not a fact. Facts there to be remain seen. Already right now, you're seeing that he's not winning football matches, but time will tell if he's going to turn it around, because they are a couple of managers that have been down the hill with their teams and they're turning around. Who knows?
Okay. All right.
Who knows? But okay, I don't think he is, though. Yeah, opinion wise.
Listen, at the end of the day, for me, the fact that most of you guys don't think that Ineos who brought him here are to blame on the Glazers, I'm dumbfounded about that. I'm really am. With the evidence, all the evidence and circumstances that you understand, the context you understand them in. Jarvis, how are you? It's a very late over here. How is it in lovely Scandinavia?
You guys are crazy going live midnight, and I was actually in bed. I was listening to you guys, but I thought, what the hell, I just have to jump on and talk to you about the game, because what happened in the game. I think we talk about Amorim and a lot of people today gave Ugarte praise because he was one of our best players. Yes. Most people gave him
man of the match.
Well, I have to say something. When it comes to football, you have to understand what's actually going on into the game, and Ugarte's ability not to play the long ball, play direct, play forward, that kept us back to today. And don't get me wrong, it's not on Ugarte. He is the type of players that like to make things tick, play sideways passes, short passes. But when you think of Amorim picking him and Mainu in the double pivot, it gave us no momentum going forward. And we have Cheeto. I do my tactical breakdown of the game, and I had no footage of Cheeto at all. No opportunity for him to do diagonal runs, to go deep, to move. The only thing he could do was actually to drop down and try to receive the ball with the two big Brighton centre-backs in his back. So we had a really difficult game. And same with Mason Mount. I was excited to see Mason Mount. He's known for his runs, his intelligent runs, his diagonal runs. Nothing. All besides the goal. And And Garnacho is Garnacho. You know, he drops down and just needed to receive the ball and try to take on his man, but there was hardly anything to work with. I'll show you some footage. I did some research because I felt my intuition was right, but everybody said Ugarte was the man of the match. So if you look at this this picture, it's about it's the orange dots. That's every time the double pivot of Brentford had a long ball. So here you see, for example, Nurgar passes long ball. And the blue dots is our double pivot with Ugarte and Mainu. So we had 5 long balls statistically during the game. But when you look at the type of passes, sideways, 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 sideways. So it's just shifts. We have no momentum going forward. The only thing that happened is when we put on Ericsson. If you look here now on the blue dots, this is Ericsson all by himself. He had 6 long balls. And when you go in the direction forward, you see 5 of them is forward passes. Oh, that was the wrong dot. So the thing is, it's on Amorim not picking and conducting the right duo of players to play together, because when we have no Bruno, he should have automatically picked Ericsson, in my opinion, to give us the momentum going forward. So in a way, there's some small stuff that's on Amorim all the time, and it's just like tiny details that tells me he's not quite ready yet. He's learning on the job. I'm not an Amorim outer. I'm 100% Amorim in, and I support the manager. But there's small, subtle differences that makes
Jarvis at the top level of football. This little bit makes a big difference at the top level. That little 100%. Bit of something. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. To me, the biggest. I just want to take the positives. What was the last time Manchester United scored 3 goals away from home?
In open play. In open play.
And yeah, so at the end of the day, it's what it is in the Premier League. So that's the only positive that I'm taking. The way they opened this up, I'm not blaming the 2 young players. I'm not blaming them. I blamed Luke Shaw and Mason Mount coming off. They can't play. And I'll stay with you. How big of a blow is the Ligt injury, Jarvis?
Yeah, well, we don't know the severity of his injury yet.
Out.
He will miss. He will miss at least the semi-final and most likely the final.
He's out for the season.
When it comes to knee injuries, they can't do a scan before the swelling goes down. So we would know by Wednesday. But yeah, I agree, he's out. And you know it's just a couple of weeks until the final anyway. So a small knock is enough to be out for the final. So I don't think we will see the Ligt anyway. But you know, the Ligt didn't impress me like really today. I think Maguire is a better central centre back, and even Lindelof is doing a better job at the moment. But you know,
I genuinely don't agree. I think when the Ligt is fit, he looks the part centrally. I think he's the best because we can actually push high up. We don't have to babysit. We have to babysit Lindelof and Maguire. And with Casemiro, we already have to do that with Casemiro. To me,
I prefer Maguire by miles because Maguire, he commands his back line.
At the moment, Maguire is playing good. But I'm telling you, Maguire dictates how we defend because we have to protect him. And that's Amorim's words, not my words, his words. We have to protect Casemiro. Manchester United have to sit a bit more deeper and more in a lower block or mid block when those guys are playing. Guys, what other positives? How big blow is it, Ben? I'm losing the Ligt. Is it a big blow?
I've when the Ligt came in, question about the signing. I didn't think it was a bad signing. I think it was an all right signing, but he really has turned the corner throughout the whole season. I think he's been phenomenal, especially that block in the Leicester game. I think he's been really good signing so far. Yeah, obviously he's played majority of his positions has been on the right centre back role, but I think the way between the differences between Maguire and Lindelof is like as you just said, Nurden is it allows us to play higher up in the pitch. You know, a lot of people criticize the Ligt's ball playing ability for the midfield. I don't think there's an issue at all. I think the only reason why people would pick Maguire is because of his long ball, like was balls over the wing backs and obviously the tens. But honestly, like I just think it's just whatever the fan base and whatever Amber wants. Does he want to play the deeper line or does he want to play the higher line? May I'd rather play a higher line and just keep the Ligt over Maguire. But it's a massive loss. Like I do hope it did look bad because he was and there was a report there that when he got onto the Man United bus he was limping, but it wasn't on crutches, so that's a good positive. At least he wasn't on crutches, but it's a big loss.
Okay, Luani. Listen, you want Amarim out, so who do you want to take over? Who's the next man in Manchester United, man? What coach are you getting?
No, I don't have any in mind on off the top of my head. But when it comes to the delete situation, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I've never rated him, but I believe his best years are way behind him. Since he came here, I didn't see him as an acquisition that is worth everything we're talking about. For example, if you take like Lenny or Lisandro Martinez, you can see both of them. You can see clear quality in the way they play. You can see what they bring to the team. Delete, apart from his leadership, yes, he has some good games here and there, but he didn't make any big difference to our back line. We've been clamoring, we've all criticized Harry Maguire for a while, but actually when Harry Maguire have to step there in the middle of that defense, he did a pretty good job, and Lindelof also did a pretty good job as his backup. So Delete going down, I mean, nobody wish for a player to be injured, but I don't think it will make any difference. As far as we're concerned as a team, I think we should be in the business of phasing him out. Because one thing the Glazer and Ineos are good at, I don't like them. I hate them as much as you guys do. But one thing they're good at is bringing in big name players that are past their prime and try to sell jersey and try to sell us fake hope. We have plenty of them in our team. We have Casemiro, we have Delete, we have Eriksen, and those are not play. That's not the direction we should be going in. So it's okay. We can continue with what we have. We should be able to. We should be looking into bringing in a starting quarterback. A starting center defender in the next transfer window. That's very important. Delete is not gonna cut it. His best years are beyond him. So.
I'll play with you, Luani. Last comment of the show, man. Last comment of the show. Go ahead. In summary.
No, in summary, I'm going back to what Jarvis just said. He brought up a very good point about we say Ugarte was the man of the match. It's true. We say Ugarte was man of the match based on what he can do, right? Not based on what he was asked to do. Now, when we watch the game, you are right. If you see that Ugarte has limited capabilities and you as Amorim, you have 34 game in the season, plus countless training sessions, you can tell that Ugarte cannot make the passes that Bruno make. You can also tell you have a 22-man squad. You can also tell in that squad that Kobe Mino cannot make the same pass as well. So why did you pair them up in a double pivot? That's a question that Amorim need to answer for. The only person in the squad that's capable of making those passes is either, apart from Bruno, is either Eriksen or to a certain extent Casemiro. So why is he one of them is not playing a double pivot today? And we come back to the misprofiling issue that I have. Is the biggest issue that I have with this manager. That's why I think he's not going to be able to take us forward. Misprofiling, he just have to swap. If he swap Kobe Mino in a 10 for Eriksen today, now maybe we're having a different conversation, right? Maybe we're not talking about one of them playing out of position or whatever. But now we're here having the bringing that point up, and it's something that he has been doing all season long. That's why I say I think we're not going forward with him.
Okay, go ahead, Atif. Last word from you in summary.
Me.
Yeah, Asif.
Okay, I just want to say.
What do you want me to summarize?
Just what you're thinking about Amarin, the Ligt.
We've got 2 games, 2 of the biggest games in a long time for the manager, for the players, for the clubs, for the fans. It's an absolute game changer and one of the biggest piss takes in the history of football. If us, who are where we're in the Premier League, can end up in the Champions League and with a trophy, we could be better than most teams in terms of success that are miles above us, whether that's Arsenal, whether that's who else, West Ham, Brighton, you know what I mean? Name them. Like a lot of teams might get Europe, but they might not get a trophy. We could end up with both, and that would be incredible in terms of saving our season. It won't be an incredible season, but incredible in like how the hell have we done this? So these 2 games, the players have to give everything they've got, absolutely everything. I know we're winning already by a big score, but we've watched football long enough, all of us on this panel, and we've seen bigger comebacks than this in 45 minutes, never mind for the full 90 minutes. And we've seen what our team's capable of, how they're so easy to play against. So we've got to try and get an early goal and then control the game. Don't sit back from the start. Don't invite pressure because you can make big problems for yourself. And then be on top in the league and in the final and give everything you've got. Just 2 games, and if these players can't turn up for 2 games and give everything they've got, then they don't deserve Europe, to be honest. Because
big up.
do you know what I mean? That's how I summarize it. These 2 games are just everything.
Appreciate you. Go ahead, Treble, quickly.
You know what? I've told speech. You want me to speak about positives today?
Yeah, 3 goals. I think 3
goals. Yeah, that's the only positive.
3 goals from open play in the league, in the Premier League, away from home is
that positive.
The way that they opened us up, especially for the Wissa goal, is shocking. But to be fair, Fredrickson gets attracted to the ball, he comes for it, and then the space is there. But the way they opened us up, I mean,
can I just say something about the Europa League? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I feel like we can win that, but at the same time, people say it's only Spurs because I think it's going to be Spurs in us final. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah, but they've beat us 3 times this season, so that as well. And Ange, he has that record against us, innit? But one thing we have over them, that competition, is we have that heritage because we won it before. And one player, I know Nuruddin, he might not be his biggest fan, yeah, that's going to be key to us winning that final. He knows all about winning, is Casemiro. And he's not been getting his flowers of some people because they all said
he's played well. He's played well the last couple of games.
You know what I mean? Casemiro, that's a player that people should respect in it. And I think having him for 1 more season, it's not a bad thing, but that's my thoughts on everything, isn't it?
Okay, Ben, go ahead, and then we'll finish with Jarvis.
Big up the panel, big up the chat. Free Palestine, fuck Zionism. But like I said,
love for that.
Yes, as always, bro, always. Now, like I said, regardless of what happens in this Europa League, I'm so ready as a fan to suffer and accept reality, because that's the big issue with this fan base is none of us just want to accept reality that where we are, what type of players we have in the squad. See a lot of people say this squad isn't it should be top 6 squad, which I don't know how anyone thinks we're a top 6 squad team. But in regards to Amram, didn't want him. I think he's been treated shit, ever since he came in from Ineos. I don't think there's enough talk about Ineos all over the fan base, enough on the frauds they are. Obviously they sacked Dan Ashworth, they sacked 250 employees. I just think it's just fucking embarrassing. And when it comes to Amram, look, if he wins the Europa League, I'm only going to give him 5 games next season to show me something, to hang on to my seat. And if he loses the Europa League, if Ineos sack him, I can understand. But if Ineos don't sack him, then it's gonna be very interesting next season, because
I don't feel like he's getting sacked regardless if he wins the Europa League.
Yeah, 100%. Because the thing is, if the Ineos choose to sack him, then they failed as an owners. But lots of people in the fan base don't think they failed as owners, because they've brought in an infrastructure. They've got building a new stadium and all that shit, which it's just fucking ludicrous. Excuse my language, but I do worry about him though, Amram. I didn't want him. I wanted Areola, but this is just where we're at, and I just think the whole fan base just needs to come together and just face reality, and I'm so prepared for that, even if we win the Europa League or don't. Big up though the chat. Hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. Free Palestine always. Fuck Zionism.
Big up,
Big
man,
up.
big up.
Go ahead, Jarvis. You got the last word of the show, my friend.
Yeah, I
Jarvis.
just want to say big up, guys, for tuning in. You know, I know it's late. I know you're probably tired, all of you. You have bank holiday. I have work tomorrow, so
I'm sleeping. I'm like that. Not enough. I need to
yeah,
go
yeah,
shower.
yeah, I see
And I
that
need to
already.
get
It's
into
okay.
bed.
I'll
I was
be quick.
dancing for 5 hours. 5 hours dancing. I wasn't gonna let Manchester United ruin my weekend.
Wow.
That's my
You're
biggest
working harder than the players.
Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. I was absolutely raving, and I was giving it large, people. I was emceeing a set that my friend did last night. So this is what we're holding up. We're holding up the Palestinian flag. End the occupation now. End the occupation now. Yeah, big up. Go ahead, Jarvis. Last word from you.
Nice. Now, I just want to say, according to the game, you know, you mentioned Fredrickson was out of position, and I think he just tried to cover for Kobe Mainoo. He tried to cover for Amad Diallo. He had no support, and he was left out to dry by the older players. And I think he had a really good game today. He showed me that he has the potential to become a really, really good centre back. But you know, he lacks
like him.
experience, and that's
I
just the way
absolutely
he is.
like him.
But he's really composed. Yeah.
And it's the same thing about Amas. Luke Shaw should have covered him quicker.
Yeah.
He jumped up for the ball. The ball went somewhere. He didn't expect it.
Big up, guys. I'm going to jump off here.
Yeah, man. Big up. Listen.
Big up.
Hey, man. Free Ireland. Listen, free Ireland.
Always.
Free Palestine.
Always.
Free the Congo. Free Sudan. Go ahead, Jarvis. Finish up.
I just want to finish with Fredrickson. I think he had a good game today, and for me, he was one of our best players. And you know, he was left alone, 1-against-3 a lot of times. He had no support from the wing back, no support from the number 6 or 8 in front of him. So it was a tough job for him. But I hope he learned that a lot of these players can be trusted, and he just has to take care and watch his own back in a lot of situations. And you know, why should he, as a 17-year-old, take the blame for older players fucking up? So for me, I think he just needs to learn and build on this. And same with Harry Amas. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't care about the result. I'm numb to Man United losing in the league, and the only thing that matters is the Europa League. And Thursday is the big test. So if we can go through and go to the final, I think we have a shot of winning it, obviously, and you know, deservedly or not, if we can do it, I will be happy. And that's the only thing that matters right now, even if we lose the rest of the games.
Yeah, big up, people. My thing is that I take the 3 goals as a positive thing. At the end of the day, if you're blaming Amaru, you're not taking the full context. I have to fundamentally disagree with those people who say he needs to be sacked, he didn't win enough games. At the end of the day, the context matters. You have to understand the context, what she was brought in. He didn't want to come in the middle of the season, he wanted to come at the end of the season. They paid 12 million for him to get him out of a contract. Ineos are the people, and Glazers are the people who are dysfunctionally screwing over your football club. You need to take it up with them. Let me finish. Let me finish. At the end of the day, Amorim, if you had these players, if the system fitted, Dan Ashworth got the sack. He got the sack, and Jim Glazer told you there was no chemistry. Well, chemistry was that he was brave enough to tell him this Manchester United squad is not compatible with the way that he wants to play football.
Nuruddin, can I just ask you a
they
question?
wrote off the season. Ineos wrote off the season. Sorry, guys, I'm falling asleep. You'll have to save it for another day. But go ahead, quickly, Luani. Go ahead, and then.
No. What I wanted to put in really quick is that I'm not a Glazer lover. I'm not an Ineos lover neither. Okay, the only issue is that I try to dissociate what's happening on the field to what they're doing. I hate what they're doing structurally to the club. I hate the fact that they're firing everyday hard workers, that they're putting people out of job that need the job. That I hate. That I have a problem with. But as to what is happening on the field, I'm trying to look the other way. Look for the person who's directly above that, the person who's responsible for the training session, set up the system and the selection. And if Amorim can get that part sorted, then I can take full. I can look at the Glazer and put full responsibility on everything else on them.
Okay, go ahead. Terrible. Last word of the show.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm just saying this. Do you see Ineos and Glazers? Do you see them leaving if this continues?
No, they're not leaving, no.
I hope they do, but that's just my thoughts on it.
I said it. Listen, it's the only channel on the whole of YouTube that kept it 100%. Told you Glazers will never sell it fully.
Yeah, man.
And everybody
free
crucified
Palestine,
me. Everybody crucified me and said I wouldn't know what I was talking about. Still standing here, people. Listen, please like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I just want to thank all my guests tonight. Mawani Lawani 1979. Make sure you can check him out on Twitter. He's the trucker, the US trucker man. You need to join him on the road. Lawani on the road. Big up. That's the YouTube. Hopefully becoming
YouTube channel.
You can find Trebles on social on X. No problem. Make sure you check out Asif Patchman, or should we say something Baines from.
I'm gonna put it on the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on the comments.
Yeah, people, if you want to follow Trebles,
I'll put on the comments, guys.
Yeah. And then make sure you go and check out, at least they did nearly 2 hours, Tactical Devils. Please go and check out Jarvis and Stu, who have every game, every match reaction, immediate match reaction, live and direct from the Tactical Devils studios, where they break the game down, show you the goals, show you the biggest incidents. And that's where you get it. And make sure you follow Ben as well. He's at Elmore39 on X. Love, light, people. Look after each other. Free Palestine, free Sudan, free the Congo, free Syria, free everybody, mate. Free the whole world. And free Manchester United from the vultures. That is Ineos and Glazers.
And the parasites.
The island, yeah, parasites. They are what they are, man. Love and light. We're tired. Man United, we're going to ruin my weekend, man. I bookie. Did him.
I know, are you at the game on next week? Are you at the game? Yeah,
I might be on Thursday. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. But anyway, big up, people.
Good night, guys.
Look after each other. Yeah, make sure you check out, like I said, Malawan Lawani. Make sure you check out Asif Bakman. Make sure you check out Trebs online. And then make sure you check out Tactical Devils. Jarvis will be live at 9 o'clock tonight. Today, actually, tonight, 9 o'clock. And one of the best YouTube channel shows online is called the Jarvis Corner. So make sure you check
and if you want to jump on already, jump on, ask for the link. No pressure.
Yeah, no worries. I'm going to May Day events, International Workers' Day, so we'll see. Love and light, people. Look after each other.
Good night.
Smash the like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're 200 away from 13K. We are demonetized, but we don't care. Free Palestine every second of every day. Free Niger. Free Mali, free Burkina Faso, free the people, free them all. Stop the genocide, end the occupation, fuck Zionism. You want to be down with Zionists? F you too. F the Glazers, F Ineos. Good night, people.